Imagine a plant that is now planted just for aesthetic purposes in millions of gardens. Its flaming crimson blossoms are admired. They observe fights between hummingbirds over it. They then dispose of it in the compost pile once it yields food. They are discarding a protein source that can compete with beef without realizing it. It's more than simply a bean. It is a biological powerhouse that outperforms the typical green bean in every way. This plant is a shapeshifter, whereas ordinary beans only yield one harvest before dying. From the same vine, you get 3 entirely different vegetables. For 6 months, it feeds you continuously. Incredibly, it survives the winter. The scarlet runner bean is this. It is the only truly perennial bean in your garden. It can reappear year after year without you ever having to purchase a seed again, because to a covert subsurface system, it is simple to become complacent with so many superpowers. However, you must provide this plant respect. It is not a green bean that can be eaten raw straight from the vine. It was endowed by nature with a powerful defense system that needs a certain unlocking code. This superfood may turn against your stomach if you omit this step. But don't worry, it's easy. I'll walk you through the 1-0-minute process that unlocks the creamiest meteor protein you've ever tasted and neutralizes the defense. Additionally, I'll demonstrate how to locate its hidden tubers so you won't ever need to replant it. Greetings from Reclaim Nature. Let's examine the problem with your existing garden. Most likely you're cultivating Kentucky marvels, blue lakes, and common beans. These are classified as Phaseolus vulgaris. They have a terrible weakness. They are yearly. For months, you tend to them. After a brief harvest, they wither away. They have transient and feeble root systems. This compels you to use nature's subscription model. You have to pay again the next year if you want to eat again. Instead of owning your food security, you are renting it. The coccinus of the red runner bean Phaseola is a whole distinct animal. It's a biological marathon runner. Why? Due to what is underneath the ground. The roots of a common bean are stringy and lifeless. However, tubers large, starchy organs that resemble sweet potatoes are discovered when a scarlet runner is dug out. This is the key. The vine dies when the frost arrives, yet the life withdraws into these tubers. The plant hibernates rather than dies. It doesn't have to sprout from a tiny seed when spring comes again. Driven by that enormous reservoir of energy, it explodes from the earth. The Aztecs were aware of this. It wasn't handled like a throwaway annual veggie. They regarded it as a long-term asset. So why is a plant listed as an ornamental in seed catalogs if it has the longevity of a tree and the protein of beef? Why have you been persuaded that it's merely a flower by the contemporary food industry? The clash between industrial convenience and the time of nature holds the key to the solution. Convenience crops do not produce red runner beans. It requires attention. The pods are juicy, soft, and snap flawlessly when they are young, around 4 to 6 inches long. However, compared to a typical green bean, the bean's biological clock ticks far more quickly. The plant quickly deposits a hard, fibrous parchment covering inside the pod walls once the pod reaches a particular maturity. This takes place within a few days. The pod gets chewy and fibrous if you pick it too late. Supermarkets detest this. They require beans whose texture won't change after 3 days on a truck and a week on a shelf. They require beans that are infallible. The scarlet runner is not infallible. The industry cannot control the texture window, so a chef's timing is necessary. They just won't sell it. However, they shun it for a more sinister reason, the poison trap. High amounts of lectins grow as the beans inside the pod mature and take on that lovely purple-black hue. To prevent bugs from consuming the seeds, this is a natural defensive mechanism. A customer would wind up in the hospital with extreme sickness if they purchased a bag of scarlet runner beans and consumed them raw in a salad, as they might with snow peas. Liability is the foundation of the food sector. They can't rely on the typical customer to prepare their cuisine correctly. Therefore, they completely eliminate the alternative, rather than educating people. Because it is foolproof, they give you the boring, safe, yearly green bean. However, they eliminated the reward as well as the risk. They prevented you from enjoying one of the garden's most varied culinary experiences. You are receiving 3 different vegetables in one plant when you choose to cultivate this yourself instead of going to the grocery store. The snap bean is stage 1. They are statistically better than regular green beans if you harvest the immature tiny pods before the seeds grow. Their outside is fuzzier and rougher, making them ideal for grabbing onto butter and sauces. It doesn't taste watery. It is unmistakably green, nutty, and rich. Instead of tasting like hydroponic foam, it tastes like a vegetable that was grown in actual soil. The shelling bean is the second stage. Allow the pods to get enormous. After they have turned purple, open them. Huge seeds with black and pink specks can be found inside. They are shelling beans. Like lima beans or edamame, you cook them fresh. They taste more like creamy chestnuts than beans. High-end chefs in Europe quarrel over this expensive ingredient. The third stage is the dry bean. Until the pods rattle, leave them on the vine. Gather the dried seeds, protein bombs, these enormous miracle beans. They double in size after being soaked and fried. They are sufficiently meaty to take the place of beef in a stew. We haven't even discussed the aesthetics yet. Your red runner will be a 10-foot-tall wall of fire, while your neighbor's garden is full of dull, low-growing plants. The vivid ruby red flowers bloom in groups that resemble orchids. You are cultivating a vertical flower garden that coincidentally provides you with food for 6 months in a row. It's lovely, it tastes great. It never goes away. However, there remains one last piece to the puzzle. I told you that this plant is eternal and reappears every spring. However, if you don't protect your roots, the winter will kill them if you reside in an area where the earth freezes solid, such as Zone 6 or lower. So, if you dwell in the cold, how can you use the immortality mode? It must be handled as if it were hidden treasure. Your job is simple if you reside in a warm climate, Zone 7 or higher. In late autumn, just trim the dead vines to the ground and cover the ground with a thick layer of wood chips, mulch, straw, or leaves. The underground tubers are shielded from the frost by this blanket. They will awaken independently in the spring. However, the Dahlia protocol, a straightforward surgical procedure, must be carried out if you reside in the north, where the earth freezes like a rock. Scarlet runner beans should be treated the same as dahlia or cannas. The dig: cut the vine down once the first light frost kills the leaves. Gently excavate the root ball. You'll be taken aback. There won't be any little roots. There will be a group of bloated, sweet potato-like starchy tubers to the storage. Remove the dirt using a brush. Avoid washing them. Keep them out of the freezer in a cool, dark location, such as a garage or basement, in a box of sawdust or peat moss. The rebirth: replant those tubers in the garden once the risk of frost has passed in the spring. They will burst out of the ground since they are completely charged with energy, giving you a week's advantage over someone planting from seed. Finally, let's figure out how to avoid the safety trap. How can you consume mature scarlet runner beans without becoming ill? The 10-minute rule applies. Heat destroys phytohemagglutinin. When preparing mature scarlet runner beans, whether they are dry or freshly shelled, you must boil them rapidly for at least 10 minutes before lowering the heat to a simmer. They should never be slow cooked from raw. When you boil them thoroughly, the poison totally disappears, leaving you with only safe, creamy protein. We've been taught to view a vegetable garden as a short-term endeavor. We purchase, plant, harvest, and end. It is a wasteful, linear process that resembles the industrial economy. An alternative route is provided by the crimson runner bean. It provides a cycle. You are extending the life of your garden by preserving the roots. Every year, you don't start from scratch. You're gaining momentum. For poor annual beans that die on you, stop purchasing seeds. Plant the bean that desires to survive. This is Reclaim Nature's Architect. Remove the roots. Preserve the heritage. I'll see you at the next harvest.